When I extended an invitation to my friend's mother for a dance, I had no idea the unexpected journey it would take us on. Welcome to Bad Boys channel, where we reveal true adultery stories with unexpected developments. If you find the video interesting, consider subscribing and liking it. Your support really aids the growth of our channel. Now let's embark on the journey into the story. Once upon a time, just a few months back, on a Saturday evening, I found myself at the enchanting celebration of David's wedding. Once upon a time, there were two friends, David and I, who shared a bond that had weathered many seasons. Yet our friendship was not one of constant companionship. We didn't always find ourselves in each other's company. We would occasionally share a beer, engaging in conversations about work or life, yet it wasn't as if we were inseparable. Yet when he extended the invitation to his wedding, it seemed like the only choice to make. Our journey has been filled with many experiences, even if our paths have drifted apart recently. The wedding, while not extravagant, had a certain charm that made it quite lovely. David's heart was unmistakably entwined with that of his bride, and the air was thick with their eager anticipation as they prepared to embark on this fresh journey together. As the ceremony unfolded, everything flowed seamlessly, and the reception buzzed with energy, with guests reveling in the joyous atmosphere. What began as a fleeting visit turned into an unexpected adventure as the night unfolded and I found myself sipping a little more than I had planned. As I stood by the bar, a shift in the atmosphere caught my attention. The music began to slow, wrapping the room in a different kind of magic. In that enchanting moment, couples began to find their partners for the timeless slow dance, each step weaving a tale of connection and romance. Every couple filled the dance floor, men with their partners, women with their significant others. And then there was Clare, David's mother, seated at the table, all alone in her thoughts. Allow me to share a little tale about Clare. She's a unique presence, far from the conventional mother figure, particularly for someone like me. Though she has crossed into her late 40s, one would hardly guess it by her appearance. She possesses a captivating beauty, radiates friendliness, and exudes warmth. The kind of woman who seems to have countless adventures still ahead of her. Yet whispers reached my ears that she had walked her path alone for many years. Before David even took her first breath, her father had already walked away, and since that day, she has chosen not to walk down the aisle again. Throughout the years, I had caught glimpses of her at various gatherings, yet our conversations remained few and far between. Our relationship wasn't strained, rather it was simply a matter of our paths rarely intersecting. On that particular night, an unexpected realization washed over me. There she was, sitting all alone, and I couldn't help but take notice. In a room filled with couples twirling and laughing, she stood apart, a silent observer of the lively dance floor. In her eyes, I glimpsed a profound loneliness, a sense that something essential was absent from her life. In that fleeting moment, an inexplicable urge stirred within me, compelling me to take action. As I approached her, the air seemed to shimmer with anticipation. "Greetings! Would you care to join me on the dance floor?" I inquired, attempting to keep my tone light and easygoing. Her gaze met mine, a flicker of surprise dancing in her eyes. In that fleeting moment of silence, I held my breath, sensing she might refuse. But then, like the sun breaking through clouds, she smiled. "Do you truly believe that?" she inquired, her tone gentle and soothing. "Indeed," I replied, a smile gracing my lips in return. If I didn't truly mean it, I wouldn't even bother to ask. Initially, there was a hint of awkwardness, but as we stepped onto the dance floor, a transformation took place. As we began our journey, the weight of unspoken words seemed to dissolve, leaving only a sense of ease in its wake. Clare, a figure I had always perceived as a beacon of confidence and independence, revealed a gentler side that took me by surprise. She appeared to be shedding the burdens she had long held, embracing the present with open arms. To be honest, my thoughts were solely focused on ensuring she enjoyed herself. I wasn't attempting to interpret it in any way, nor was I considering anything unusual. Yet there was an unmistakable spark in her gaze that evening. It was more than mere gratitude. It was an elusive feeling, something that danced just out of reach of my understanding. The final notes lingered in the air, and for a brief moment we remained entwined, savoring the silence as the melody slipped away. "You know," she said, gazing up at me with a gentle smile, "that was truly lovely. Much appreciated." "No problem," I replied, a light chuckle escaping my lips. What a delightful experience it was. With a final, radiant smile, she turned and made her way back to the table. Yet a certain spark in her gaze remained, captivating and profound. It was a moment that opened my eyes to the fact that I had offered her more than just a dance. I had returned a fragment of her essence, a small gesture that seemed inconsequential at the moment. Yet an undeniable sensation lingered within me, whispering that this was the beginning of an unforeseen journey. Little did I realize at that moment, but that dance was destined to alter the course of my life entirely. As the days slipped by following the wedding, life resumed its familiar rhythm, settling back into the everyday routine. In the midst of a whirlwind, I found myself balancing two jobs, navigating through long hours with scarcely a moment to spare for a meal or a moment's rest. Life can be quite the challenge, yet I've learned to navigate its twists and turns. After that night, the wedding faded from my thoughts. It seemed like one of those serendipitous instances where a simple act of kindness is offered to another, with no anticipation of reward. One fateful evening, just as I was ready to sink into the comforting embrace of my couch after a long day's toil, a message arrived, breaking the stillness of the moment. The message came from Claire. It caught me completely off guard. Well, I was taken by surprise. I had no clue if she even had my number. Yet there it was, her name lighting up my phone screen. "Greetings, Adrian. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Claire. I trust this message finds you in good spirits." Once more, I find myself grateful for that enchanting dance we shared. It truly held great significance for me. I'm curious if you'd be interested in getting together in the near future, simply to share a conversation. As I gaze at the message, thoughts swirl in my mind like leaves caught in a whirlwind. What was this tale about? What could have prompted her to connect with me? It was a puzzle that defied understanding. Well, we hardly had the chance to truly know one another. Indeed, we had twirled together in that moment. Yet I never imagined it held any deeper significance. It was merely a fleeting moment, wasn't it? Yet a persistent sensation lingered in my chest, refusing to let go. The manner in which she expressed it held profound significance for me. It resonated with authenticity. It struck a chord deep within. Uncertainty lingered in the air, yet an undeniable curiosity tugged at my heart. I chose not to dwell on it too much, so I went ahead and replied in a laid-back manner. "Greetings, Claire. All good. Delighted to hear you found joy in it." "Absolutely, I would be delighted to meet. What thoughts crossed your mind?" With a sense of anticipation, I dispatched the message and settled in to wait. Before too much time had passed, her response came through, proposing we gather at a quaint little cafe nestled in the heart of downtown. I nodded in agreement, yet the purpose of it all remained a mystery to me. The following day, I arrived at the cafe a tad early, my mind swirling with uncertainty about what lay ahead. Claire was nestled in a cozy corner table, awaiting my arrival. She appeared transformed in some way, not quite the nurturing presence I had come to recognize at David's family gatherings. She moved with a certain grace that spoke volumes about her journey. There was a newfound openness, a vulnerability that had previously escaped my notice. Her smile greeted me like a gentle breeze, and the warmth in her eyes wrapped around me, soothing my spirit. "Hey, thanks for meeting me," she said, a warm smile lighting up her face as I settled into my seat across from her. "No problem at all," I said, attempting to maintain a relaxed demeanor, even though I sensed I was treading in unfamiliar waters. We exchanged words for a spell, touching on the mundane aspects of life, work, and the usual small talk. Yet I sensed a deeper thought lingering in her mind. She was weaving a narrative, not merely engaging in casual conversation, as if we were old friends reuniting. Within her heart, a profound message yearned to be expressed. At last, after a stretch of uncomfortable quiet, she turned to me with a grave expression. She spoke with a gentle tone, reflecting on the dance that had been occupying her thoughts lately. "More than I ought to confess. It may seem a bit wild, but I found myself unable to shake off the feelings it stirred within me. In the bloom of youth, I suppose. It felt as though I had been brought back to life, you know?" My eyes widened in surprise. What a surprise that was! Claire sat there, her gaze fixed on me, anticipation hanging in the air as she awaited my reply. In that moment, words eluded me. This caught me completely off guard. She hurried on, her words tumbling out in a rush, as if she were eager to erase the awkwardness that had just settled between them. It's simply, I can't quite put my finger on it, Adrian, but it seemed like a moment I had been yearning for all this time. You made me feel like I was more than simply David's mother, beyond the surface of this older woman who has navigated the path of solitude for many years. Words escaped me in that moment. A flicker of temptation danced within me, urging me to laugh it off, to weave a jest and cloak the moment in lightheartedness, as if it were nothing of consequence. Yet there was another side of me, an unfamiliar sensation that sensed a peculiar bond, an unforeseen attraction weaving its way between us. I'm not implying that I anticipate anything, or that there's a need for us to take action, she added swiftly, clearly picking up on my uncertainty. It was something that simply had to be expressed. For you. I lingered for a moment, letting her words wash over me. One side of me lingered in confusion, yet another side was ignited by an irresistible curiosity that began to blossom. Claire revealed herself with a candor that took me by surprise, sharing her thoughts and feelings in a manner I had not anticipated. The depth of vulnerability in her eyes was unmistakable, and I found myself unable to look away. In that moment, I found myself at a loss for words, confessing my uncertainty about how to navigate this situation. But I'm truly grateful you chose to share that with me. It never occurred to me how deeply it resonated with you. With a gentle smile, a wave of relief spread across her features. Thank you for lending your ear, Adrian. As I stood there, uncertainty swirling around me, a flicker of understanding ignited within. This moment felt different, as if it held a significance beyond mere chance. Perhaps there was a deeper meaning behind it all. Perhaps this marked the dawn of an unforeseen adventure. The weeks that followed that fateful cafe meeting unfolded like a whirlwind, each moment blending into the next. At first, Claire was a bit elusive, but we managed to send a few messages back and forth. Just a light exchange, sharing snippets of life and seeing how things are going. Yet that conversation about weed lingered in my mind. Something had shifted in the atmosphere surrounding us, though I couldn't quite grasp what it was. One evening, just a few days after our encounter, I found myself at home, leisurely scrolling through social media, when I stumbled upon another message for Claire. Though her texts had grown sparse in recent days, there was an unmistakable quality to her latest message that caught my attention. This one carried a sense of purpose. Hey Adrian, I remember our conversation about pacing ourselves, but there's something on my mind that I feel compelled to share with you. I've been reflecting on our conversation, and I wanted to check in to see if your feelings align with mine. It would be wonderful to carve out some time for just the two of us to share and connect. Rest assured, there's no rush at all. Well, I suppose it's all about exploring the possibilities, isn't it? Just to see what unfolds along the way. As I lingered in that moment, my gaze fixed on the screen of my phone, uncertainty wrapped around me like a fog, leaving me at a loss for words. It wasn't that I had any dislike for her. In fact, I was still trying to untangle the web of emotions within me, yet there lingered a sense of uncertainty about the unfolding situation. A part of me hesitated, gripped by fear even. She held the title of my best friend's mother. That was the greatest obstacle standing in my way. What might David ponder? What might one ponder? Yet there was an undeniable tug within me, drawing me closer to her. With each encounter, whether through a glance or a conversation, the bond deepened, and my curiosity grew ever stronger. There was something enchanting about how she made me feel, her openness and honesty weaving a connection between us. It was a breath of fresh air, a sensation I hadn't experienced in ages, prompting me to speak my truth to her. I'm uncertain about the direction this is taking, yet I'm ready to embrace the journey. Perhaps we ought to proceed with caution, just as we discussed. There's no hurry, let the moments unfold in their own time. Though it was a straightforward message, it carried the weight of progress, like a gentle nudge toward a brighter path. I was hesitant to leap into anything too swiftly, and I sought to avoid placing any undue pressure on either of us. I was aware that our actions were far from ordinary. Indeed, I was well aware of the dangers that lay ahead. Yet there was an undeniable essence within her, a genuine spark, that drew me in time and again. Her response came in a flash. "Ah, that resonates beautifully, Adrian. It brings me joy to see that we share a common understanding. What do you say we gather once more this weekend? Perhaps for a cozy coffee or something delightful? It would be wonderful to cross paths with you once more." With a nod, I accepted. We chose a serene little cafe, the very spot where our words had danced in the past. I thought it would be a perfect spot to keep things relaxed and easygoing. In this place, judgment holds no power over us. As Saturday dawned, I set forth on my journey to that place. Claire was already perched at our familiar table, exuding a sense of ease, as if she possessed all the time in the universe. There was a glimpse of her I had yet to encounter, and I discovered a certain pleasure in it. She had no intention of winning anyone's admiration. She simply embraced her true self. For the next couple of hours, we found ourselves lost in conversation, weaving through the tapestry of life, work, and all the delightful nuances that lay in between. I maintained a cheerful demeanor, yet it was clear that Claire yearned for a deeper conversation. In certain fleeting moments, I sensed her gaze upon me had shifted, awakening the understanding that this encounter had transcended the realm of mere casualness. A sense of anticipation was brewing within me, and I found myself questioning whether I was truly prepared for what was to come. As we sipped the last of our coffee, a subtle change enveloped the air around us. Claire had transformed from merely being the mother of my best friend into something much more significant. She was becoming more than just a figure in my life. She was transforming into a genuine soul, someone with whom I could forge a deeper bond, and that filled me with fear. Just before my departure, she inhaled deeply and met my gaze with intensity. "Adrian," she spoke, her voice gentle yet unwavering. "Though this is all uncharted territory and I have no desire to hurry you along, I want to express how much I truly cherish our moments together. You inspire me to see myself as more than just a mother or a partner. Your presence brings a warmth that reminds me of being truly acknowledged, a sensation that has eluded me for quite some time." Her words struck me with an intensity I hadn't anticipated. It caught me off guard. This unexpected openness, laid bare and genuine before me. Uncertainty washed over me, yet deep down, I understood that turning a blind eye was not an option. "I cherish the moments we share, Claire," I replied, striving to maintain a calm tone. "I'm truly delighted that we're embarking on this journey together, whatever it may be." Her smile was warm and sincere, radiating authenticity. In that moment, she sought nothing beyond what we shared, at least for now. And in that moment, I understood that perhaps it wasn't necessary for anyone else to comprehend it. Perhaps it was one of those moments where understanding wasn't essential just yet. What truly counted was our journey of discovery, unfolding piece by piece. As I strolled away from the cafe that day, a wave of unexpected tranquility washed over me. Uncertainty loomed ahead, and the path was shrouded in mystery. Yet for the first time in ages, a spark of anticipation flickered within me, urging me to embrace the unfolding journey. And perhaps, just perhaps, it wasn't such a terrible idea to embrace a slower pace. As the weeks unfolded, they drifted by with a calmness that felt both comforting and a bit daunting. Claire and I enjoyed a relaxed pace, exchanging texts occasionally and sharing casual coffee or lunch dates, allowing ourselves the space to discover what our journey would unfold. The rhythm was just as it should be. Though I wasn't hurrying into anything, there was a sense that we were gradually heading towards something meaningful. One evening, after the day's toil had come to an end, I found myself with a moment to spare and thought it the perfect opportunity to connect with Claire. It had been a few days since I last laid eyes on her, and while our encounters had been easygoing, a persistent curiosity tugged at me, whispering about the potential of what might unfold between us. An idea sparked within me. Once upon a time, there was something simple, a gathering around the table, where flavors dance and stories unfold. It wasn't an extravagant evening, nothing grand or lavish, just simple and modest, merely a dinner gathering. Once upon a time, there were two of us. Though uncertainty lingered in my mind about her willingness, I decided it was a question worth posing. "Greetings, Claire. I sent you a message. How about we share a meal together tomorrow evening? Only the two of us. Just the basics. Simply an opportunity to gather and share some words. What are your thoughts on this?" To my surprise, just moments later, my phone buzzed with a response. "Oh, that sounds wonderful," she exclaimed. "What do you say to gathering at that charming Italian spot near the park around 7 p.m.? The atmosphere is calm, and I sense an opportunity for us to converse without interruptions." A smile crept across my face as I read the message. It was a gentle moment, filled with warmth, and for some reason, it wrapped around me like a cozy blanket, making me feel more at ease than any of our past conversations. This seemed like a move in the right direction, an opportunity to explore the possibilities of this connection. "Take your time. Only the two of us." The following day at work, my mind wandered to it more than it perhaps ought to have. To be honest, I was completely in the dark about what I was doing. Yet there was one truth that stood clear in my mind. Claire stirred emotions within me that had long been dormant. A glimpse of authenticity, a touch of authenticity. She was simply herself, no need for pretense. She embraced her true self, not pretending to be younger or more carefree than her reality allowed. In her authenticity, she revealed a charm that captivated me beyond my wildest expectations. Upon my arrival at the restaurant, I found Claire already seated, waiting with an air of anticipation. She appeared utterly at ease, adorned in a dress that was both simple and elegant. Nothing extravagant. With her hair neatly pulled back, she wore an expression of pure contentment. In that fleeting moment, I came to appreciate the beauty found in the simplicity of our actions. It could have been simple. "Greetings, Claire." I offered a greeting, my heart fluttering with nerves, yet I endeavored to maintain an air of composure. "Greetings, Adrian." Her smile mirrored his. "It brings me immense joy that we were able to come together for this moment. Anticipation has been building within me all week long." As we settled in, a palpable shift enveloped the space around us. It was not your usual first date. In that moment, the air was still, and the vibrant dance of butterflies was absent. There shall be no moments of silence that feel out of place. There exists a gentle, unspoken connection that binds us together. It wrapped around me like an old friend, warm and inviting, and somehow, that was precisely what my heart sought. The dinner unfolded quietly, lacking any grand spectacle. We shared tales of all sorts: life, family, the passions that ignited our hearts, the little moments that mattered. Claire had a way of drawing you in, and I found myself cherishing the depth of her insights. She had faced many trials, yet there was a serene quality about her that brought me a sense of stability. As the evening unfolded, I began to realize the harmony in our differences. It was clear she was reveling in the moment, and I found myself swept up in the joy as well. Yet as the dialogue turned towards more intimate subjects, I felt a shift in her voice, a subtle depth that had previously been absent. Claire's voice, gentle yet resolute, carried a weight as she turned to Adrian. "There's something I've been meaning to ask you," she said. "Though we had a pact to proceed with caution, do you sense this stirring between us? What tale do we weave together? It seems we've been circling this topic for a while now, but I must ask, do you sense that there's something genuine between us?" Her question struck me with an unexpected force. In that fleeting instant, uncertainty clouded my thoughts, leaving me momentarily speechless. Words eluded me as I tried to capture the whirlwind of emotions swirling within me. Yet I found myself unable to refute it. Once upon a time, there existed something remarkable. Something genuine lingered in the air. "I do," I said, locking my gaze with hers from across the table. "Lately, my thoughts have been swirling around this idea, and I can't shake the feeling that there's something special connecting us. Yet I feel compelled to share my truth with you. This is unlike anything else. This is a new journey for me, and I wish to take my time with it. I wish to keep everything on the right path." With a gentle nod, a subtle smile danced at the edges of her lips. "It brings me joy to know you feel that way." I simply couldn't continue feigning that everything was just casual. For me, it simply isn't. "My heart holds a special place for you, Adrian. It seems we have a tale worth delving into, should you still be inclined to embark on this journey?" Her words lingered in the atmosphere, and for what felt like an eternity, I struggled to uncover the perfect response. Yet after a moment's pause, the words that needed to be spoken became clear to me. With a sense of openness, I finally replied to Claire, "I'm open to it. I simply wish to take my time with this, you understand? I wish to savor each moment of this journey by your side." In an instant, her eyes sparkled with relief. With a gentle motion, she extended her hand across the table, intertwining her fingers with mine. It was a humble act, yet it resonated with the weight of the world. In that fleeting instant, it became clear that she grasped my meaning perfectly. We found ourselves together in this moment, savoring it without haste. We were charting our own course, moving to the rhythm of our own beat. As we concluded our meal and stepped out of the restaurant, a wave of tranquility washed over me. Uncertainty lingered in the air, yet a spark of curiosity ignited within me, urging me to delve deeper into this intriguing journey. Claire had transcended the role of merely being David's mom. She was a person who held a special place in my heart, and that in its essence felt like a monumental stride ahead. Uncertainty loomed over the horizon, yet my heart brimmed with anticipation for the adventures that awaited me. The following months spent with Claire unfolded like a tapestry woven with quiet moments, profound conversations, and the simple pleasures that arise from the company of someone who genuinely comprehends my essence. It was never about the sweeping gestures or the twists of destiny. It was a tale woven with threads of connection, genuine, honest, and straightforward bonds. And there it was, a surprise waiting for me in a place I had never thought to look. Yet, as with all tales, the idyllic simplicity could not endure indefinitely. As the days unfolded, it became increasingly clear to me just how deeply my feelings for Claire had blossomed. Little did I know how deep the waters would become, and she was equally unaware. Yet it was evident that we were both entwined in this journey, come what may. One evening, as we lounged in our living room, casually watching TV and sharing stories, she suddenly turned to me, her expression shifting to one of seriousness. "Adrian," she whispered, her voice gentle as a breeze, "it seems the moment has come for us to delve into the essence of this matter. Let me share with you the tale of our recent endeavors." A sudden flutter danced in my chest. In that moment, clarity washed over me, and I understood her completely. We hadn't quite defined what this connection was, and deep down I sensed it was inevitable. We could no longer turn a blind eye to the reality that we were venturing into a realm that could alter the course of our journey forever. We had been treading lightly, shrouded in a veil of secrecy, but now it seemed the moment had arrived to face it head-on. "I understand," I responded, my throat tightening as I swallowed. "That thought has crossed my mind as well." Claire held my gaze for what felt like an eternity, her eyes probing deep into mine. "My heart holds a special place for you, Adrian. I truly do. But I must ask, are you prepared for what lies ahead? Are you prepared for the possibilities that lie ahead for us both?" I inhaled deeply. The question arrived earlier than I had anticipated, yet there it stood before me. The gravity of the moment enveloped me, and I understood that I needed to embrace honesty, not only with her, but also within my own heart. "I cannot predict what lies ahead, Claire," I said, my voice firm yet tinged with uncertainty. "I've ventured into uncharted territory with this relationship, and the meaning of it all eludes me. Yet I am certain of one thing. My feelings for you run deep, many tales to tell, and I am eager to discover the unfolding journey ahead." A moment of quiet hung in the air between us. A weighty silence enveloped us, as if the air itself held its breath, leaving both of us at a loss for words in that moment. In that moment, Claire reached out, her hand enveloping mine, fingers radiating warmth and a sense of comfort that washed over me. She required no further words. "I believe we've begun to weave something genuine together," she murmured gently. "Perhaps it need not be confined by the dictates of others. Perhaps there's no need for us to clarify it to anyone at all." A wave of relief enveloped me, soothing my spirit. There existed a freedom, unbound by the constraints of expectation, a liberation from the need to explain it to another soul. In that moment, it was simply the two of us, and it felt perfectly aligned with the universe. That seemed sufficient. And so we pressed on, not with grand proclamations, but with gentle, unwavering strides ahead. Our relationship had its flaws. There were trials along the way, and there were times when I questioned whether I was on the right path. Yet amidst the chaos, there was a singular truth that stood firm in my heart. Claire and I had discovered a treasure, a gem that ignited our spirits and stirred our hearts, something truly worth the battle ahead, even if it was merely a secret shared between us. In the weeks that followed, we chose to keep our relationship a cherished secret, shared only between us. Claire remained David's mother, and neither of us wished to create any discomfort for him. Yet there were those fleeting instances, those precious snippets of time when the world around us dissolved, leaving only the two of us in our own little universe. In those fleeting moments, a profound sense of tranquility enveloped me, unlike anything I had experienced in quite some time. We were left with questions, and perhaps we always would be. Yet that was of no consequence. What truly held significance was our unity, crafting something fresh, embracing each day as it came. As I strolled out of her house one evening, hand in hand, a realization washed over me. This was merely the start of our journey. It was far from a fairy tale romance. It was never about achieving perfection or striving to fulfill anyone's expectations. It was a quest for authenticity. And for the first time in what felt like ages, I sensed that I had discovered it at last.